Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's old Pappy back with another one. Thanks for tuning in. And before I get started, I just want to say thanks again to everybody who's have subscribed to my channel. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers, and I really appreciate all your support. And if you want to recommend the channel to somebody else and get them to subscribe too, that'd be awesome. Anyway, let's get at it. So we're on the test server this weekend, and there's two things really that we're looking at. One are the modules that they're bringing in for jumping and dashing. That means you can have your Aries dash all over the place. You can have your White Dragon jump, your Loki jump everywhere. We're going to try that out. And we're also going to take a look at this new concept, which I suspect is going to happen whether or not we like it or not, only because the way it's built, Pixonic doesn't normally build something and then tear it apart and throw it away, right? They want to find a way to tweak it and make it improved. And so what is it? Well, it's basically a way to go MKII with your pilots. That's it in a nutshell. You know how you can have your robot, you bring it to level 12, and then you can upgrade it, and then it suddenly starts all over again. Well, in this one with the pilots, you can max your skills, and then you can MK2 them. You can upgrade them. You can see it on the screen there, and then you can actually boost them. And they have not told us what the cost is going to be yet. You know, I mean, sure as heck is not going to be free. That's for sure. But it's definitely not going to be the price that you see on the screen. So if you're curious how it works, you know, obviously slow down the tape, go back and look at it later. It basically, in a nutshell, is they're asking for our feedback, but the question is that is it going to happen regardless? So is the question about the feedback, no, we don't want it, or should the question be how can we improve it? And I would say let's talk about how we can improve it, right? Because it's going to come in no matter what, so we might as well talk about what we like and what we don't like about it, and we'll kind of go from there. And what else are we going to do? Well, let's take a look here. What map are we going to go? Let's press play, and we're going to zip off, and we're going to check out a little bit of this gameplay with these modules, and then I'll come back to the pilots later in the video. So let's get started. And so what are these modules, and how do they work? Well, they actually go in the active slot. That's the slot that normally we would put, say, phase shift, or we would put healing modules in there. But these modules are for jumping. There's a jump and there's a dash. And the question is, like, and I raised this last time I tried it on the test server. The question is, are any of them good enough that you would want to, say, swap out your phase shift or swap out your healing? Because so many players nowadays, their tactics are literally tied to their mashing the module buttons. I mean, be honest, aren't you? I mean, we're all friends here, right? Let's not lie to each other. There's a lot of players out there, basically, that treat the phase shift as a get-out-of-jail-free card. They basically just pound the living snot out of it. I actually have to laugh. I imagine that their screens are probably smashed by the end of like 5 games in a row because they hit the phase shift so much. And I used to really rail against it back in the day, and now I got to admit, I'm one of those guys. I'm running Ravana. I have 2 of them in my hangar, my main hangar, and I hate to say it, but I beat the snot out of them things. I'm mashing phase shift over and over. The power cells, you can see the smoke coming off my screen because I'm burning those power cells so much. But it's true. We come to rely on these things. So the question is, are they going to knock phase shift and healing, for instance, out of your hangar? Well, here's the thing. Last time, you can check out my other test server video when we did this, I think maybe a week ago, and I had most of my bots back then all equipped with dash, and I was not really high on it, right? I wasn't high on it. I didn't really think it was that great. I thought, dash, I mean, it doesn't really do much for you. You don't go very far, and it's not like you can dash 2 or 3 times in a row to get out of danger. But this jump is a different animal, man. It's very different. And so you can see what I'm doing here. I mean, unfortunately, I just got... my toes were my heel got caught on the ridge there. Otherwise, I would have jumped to safety. But I'm actually finding that a lot of these bots that I'm going to be using here are really transformed when you put that jump on it. Like this Aries, to be able to use this tactic where you're basically jumping in the air with your shield, you land as a death button, and then your built-in energy weapons kick in. Holy man, are they ever powerful, man. And look, I can get down here again. I can hammer this guy. Luckily, he's a bit distracted. I jump in the air, I turn, I twist, boom, double kill. Now, how do you like them apples? Now, I'm a walking wounded now. I mean, I got beat up pretty bad there, but you can start to see the possibilities, can't you? You can really see how this jump You know, is it something that I would switch my phase shift out for? You know what, maybe I would. And I would use it kind of as a defensive, you know, I probably wouldn't jump into attack, maybe, if you want to ambush people, but a lot of times I think I would be jumping away to the side, you know, jump, death button people, jump to cover. That really does have some potential, man. I'm telling you right now, I actually am liking this jump. And so let's get over here. I think this one also has jump on it now. We have the white dragon with the jump here. I'm not 100% sure whether I would put jump on the white dragon. Now, one of the reasons why is, of course, they also are coming out with these, you know, these sort of quantum radar rigs for the Titans as well, quantum sensor or whatever the heck they're calling it, right? Anyway, the point is that the days of the white dragons just flying around laughing and chuckling and tickling ourselves while we basically melt every Titan on the screen, them days are over, boys and girls. Sorry about that. Pretty soon those new modules are going to come in for Titans, and every time you take to the air, you're going to get just smackarooed by Dragoon-style weapons. You're going to get hit by those new Cyclones, whatever it is, these crazy Titan weapons. They're just going to shoot you down. And so I think you're really going to need the phase shift for a robot that's exposed, right? So white dragons are one of those ones where any flying bot, any hover, any of that kind of stuff, you're going to need phase shift because otherwise they're just going to hit you and take you down, man. It's going to knock you out of the sky. So I don't really think that's probably the one that I would want to run that on. But you know what? I think something like this, like a ground-based tank. Can you imagine how dynamic? I mean, one of the things that I don't like about these builds is that they lumber and they take so long to get from point A to point B. But imagine if you can do what you just saw right there. You know, you're in a Fenrir, you're just tankety-doing along, and all of a sudden, bingo bango, you're flying through the air with the greatest of ease. You know, the crazy robot with the flying trapeze, that kind of thing. It's super awesome. And so I think that is another one where I probably would be tempted to put my jump on there as opposed to the phase shift, because the problem with the phase shift on a bot like this is that you're not going to be able to scoot away and get to safety in time to really save yourself, because phase shift will run out, whereas you might be able to jump behind cover, leap to safety, all that kind of stuff. All right, so let's take a step back here, because we've been talking a lot about this jump thing, and you can tell I'm a fan of the jump. I'm not a fan of the dash. Fan of the jump. If it's cheap, if it only is like 20 power cells, I probably will maybe equip it to 1 or 2, because I also would really, I think, I would really value the surprise factor, right? I mean, if people see a Fenrir lumbering toward them and they think that they're safe, and all of a sudden I come flying out of nowhere, jumping at them, you could probably ambush a lot of players that way. But anyway, this game's almost over. I'm going to go kick some butt here with this Ming, actually. So we'll talk a little bit about the upgrading the pilots. I really have mixed feelings about the upgrading of the pilots, and I'd love to hear from you guys. Drop me a line in the comments. Tell me what you think. I know some people are going to say, oh, it's just a money grab, just a money grab. It's just another way to spend resources. Well, I'm a little bit sympathetic to Pixonic, only in the sense that any game that stops giving people things to spend on quickly becomes stagnant, right? And I've been playing since 2014, and I know that there were a couple of periods of the game's development where there was no new gear coming in, there were no pilots, there wasn't even a clan system, and things really got stagnant. And a lot of us iOS players quickly maxed our hangars, and we're kind of just like looking around, going like, well, what do we spend our resources on? Right? What do we do? What are we saving this stuff for? And you know, so I get it, but I also understand that it's a real slog for newer players. Like, I'm very lucky; I'm maxed to the gills. Not everybody is, and I know that. And I do not ever want to come across as some smug guy saying, "Oh, look at me, my hangar's amazing." I'm not saying that. I do get it. My new clan, Overpowered, has guys that are still coming up, and they're still fighting to get their hangars going. And so I understand where your guys are coming from. And so all I would say is that, you know, to me, the upgrading of the pilots is fine, but it really, really brings a need to improve the matchmaking, maybe create another level or two above champion, so that we can really segregate the super-powered players from the regular players. And I think if you can actually find a way to do that, balance the needs of the players and the needs of the maxed guys to have something to spend their resources on, I think then you have a winning scenario, right? So anyway, that's just my thoughts. Let me know what you think. Hit me up in the comments, and as I said before, if you liked my videos, if you like what I do, please share my videos with your friends, and try to twist their arm and get them to subscribe as well, because you know, I hate to beg, but I need to get these subscribers in so I can get the support from Pixonic to actually get sponsored and do giveaways and stuff like that. And I'm watching other channels. Suddenly they'll launch next week or last week, and next thing you know, they have 700 subscribers already, and I'm stuck at around 420. And I would love to get over 5 at least, and then see where we can go from there. So anyway, that's it. Old Pappy signing off. Until next time, you know, I mean, obviously hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think. Maybe I'm full of crap. It's fine. But until next time, I'll see you on the battlefield.